The ideal American cowboy, John Wayne's legacy of films is a goldmine of Western classics. Starring in more than 150 feature films, his performances as brave gunman and his iconic cowboy look would permeate American cinema for generations to come. His friends and fans called him Duke, but to most, he is just known as the one and only John Wayne. In this video, we'll take a look at the top 10 John Wayne movies of all time.
Wait till we start shooting, dude, and make a grab for it. Let's make a little noise, Colorado.
Number 10. True Grit.
I don't believe I will. Drop that switch, LaBeef.
In this classic tale of Wild West-style revenge, a young girl seeks help avenging the death of her beloved father. She soon learns that when you want someone dead in the West, there's no one better for the job than U.S. Marshal Rooster Cogburn, a man who rumors says has some real true grit. John Wayne stars as Cogburn, an unsentimental and gutsy marshal who has taken down some of the most wanted outlaws in the country. Alongside Wayne starred Glenn Campbell as Ranger LaBeef and Kim Darby as a young Matty Ross. Things would have been way different if Elvis Presley played LaBeef, as was the studio's original plan.
Oh, she's a runaway, all right. Bound to be paper on her.
Even though the movie is considered a classic, Wayne wasn't pleased with how the film turned out. He disliked working with pretty much every one of his co-stars and was highly critical of Kim Darby's performance. He went so far as to tell reporters to watch some of his other films instead, which is not any sort of good PR for a new movie. Number 9. The Shootist.
Did he mention that third eye you better have?
Third eye?
For that dumbass amateur.
The last film in Wayne's illustrious career serves as a proper love letter to his cinematographic oeuvre. 1976's The Shootist chronicles the final days of a dying gunfighter as he searches for a dignified way to leave this world. Simply put, this was the perfect way to end the film career of an actor such as Wayne. Much of The Shootist serves as a celebration of Wayne's career, complete with inside jokes and hidden messages that only die-hard Wayne fans will be able to recognize.
You and Dobkins are two sides of a counterfeit coin.
Surprisingly enough, the movie almost did not happen, as some of the producers thought that the 69-year-old Wayne was not believable as a gunfighter anymore. It was producer Dino De Laurentiis who came forward in Wayne's defense, finally making the studio agree to cast Wayne despite his failing health. The rest, as they say, is history.
Just throw me your wallet. Yes, sir. A little something extra.
Number 8. El Dorado.
You just give me time to get down off of this wagon and we'll find out.
The original theatrical poster for 1966's El Dorado proudly reads, "It's the big one with the big two." And that's because seeing John Wayne and Robert Mitchum together in a movie was the 60s equivalent of a modern-day Marvel crossover event. El Dorado features the story of Cole Thornton, a gunfighter for hire who allies with an old sheriff friend to protect a rancher and his family from some insidious rivals that want to steal their water. Wayne stars as Cole Thornton, while Mitchum plays Sheriff J.P. Hara. The movie also stars a young James Caan, way before his Godfather days. Released during the boom in popularity of the spaghetti western genre, El Dorado was seen as outdated by some critics who felt like the movie embodied a dying brand of western movies. The rumors about Wayne's health also didn't bode well for the film, which soon proved its detractors wrong, amassing over $12 million at the box office.
Mississippi, keep that gun pointed right at this table, both barrels.
Number 7. The Quiet Man.
It's a good grip you have, Danaher. I always hated a flabby handshake myself.
1952's The Quiet Man is somewhat of an oddity in John Wayne's career, as it is one of his only films where he doesn't play either a cowboy or a soldier. Instead, this movie chose to cast an actor known for his no-nonsense characters as the lead in a romantic dramedy, kind of like that time during the 90s when Arnold Schwarzenegger suddenly became a comedic actor. Unlike Arnie, however, Wayne was a critical success in his comedy stint. In the film, Wayne stars as a retired American boxer who moves back to his homeland in Ireland. In his idyllic home village, he falls in love with a woman, but her brother violently opposes their relationship.
If you say 3, mister, you'll never hear the man count 10.
An all-around cheery film, The Quiet Man remains one of the most recognizable movies in Wayne's career. One of the best things about the movie is definitely the chemistry between Wayne and his co-star, Maureen O'Hara. Their cheerful relationship feels like a breath of fresh air, especially in contrast with the rest of Wayne's filmography.
There'll be no locks or bolts between us, Mary Kate, except those in your own mercenary little heart.
Number 6. Red River.
There'll be no quitting along the way, not by me and not by you.
Despite having appeared in nearly 250 acting roles throughout his career, John Wayne was rarely the villain in any of his films. However, Red River proves that he could be as unpleasant as they come when he played the ruthless cattleman, Thomas Dunson. Dunson leads his caravan all the way to Missouri, and after 14 years of work, it seems like his workers have finally had enough of the tyrannical cattleman. A mutiny, led by his adopted son, soon breaks the frail power balance that Dunson has built, ending in catastrophic consequences for all of his life's work.
Mr. Dunson, I'll say it just one more time.
Directed by Howard Hawks, the movie proved that Wayne was ready for more complex roles than being a simple gunfighter. Director John Ford, in particular, was so impressed by Wayne's acting in Red River that he became a lifelong collaborator with the actor, casting him in many of his most successful films.
I told you all where you stand in this. See that you remember it.
Number 5, The Longest Day.
One thing I'm sure of, we're gonna hold this town till a link-up does come. Whenever it is. Today, tomorrow, till hell freezes over.
Shot in a docudrama style, The Longest Day chronicles the events of the Normandy landings during World War II, better known as the D-Day. The movie is an epic war story that eclipsed many productions of its time in terms of scope and with its star-studded cast that featured the best of Hollywood's royalty.
England's gone through a blitz with a knife at her throat since 1940.
Wayne plays Lieutenant Colonel Benjamin H. Vandervoort, a member of the American 505th Parachute Infantry Regiment. Curiously, the real Vandervoort was 27 years old when he landed on Normandy, while Wayne was 54 when he played the role. This, and some other tactical inaccuracies, might have been the reason why President Eisenhower left the theater after seeing just a few minutes of the film. Despite these incidents, The Longest Day was still a massive critical success, winning 2 Academy Awards and being nominated for 3 others.
Strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
Number 4, The Searchers.
Leave them carry off their hurt and dead. Well, Reverend, that tears it.
When the Comanche Indians steal his niece and massacre his brother's family, a Civil War veteran sets forth on a quest for revenge. An epic tale spanning years, The Searchers was considered by Wayne himself as his favorite role, naming one of his sons, Ethan Wayne, after his character in the film. The movie is also notorious for film historians for being one of the very first Hollywood productions to include a making-of companion piece. During the filming of The Searchers, Wayne helped a young Navajo who was ill with pneumonia. The Navajos, thankful for his help, gave him the name The Man with the Big Eagle, which honestly sounds even cooler than just Duke.
No sense. Hunger, empty bellies, that's the sense that makes you blanket head.
Number 3, Stagecoach. Perhaps one of the best classic American Western dramas ever made, Stagecoach follows the misadventures of a group of travelers as they face the looming threat of an attack by the legendary Apache, Geronimo. Being a relatively new actor, Wayne was given the chance to impress director John Ford with his acting. He would have to take a smaller pay than most of his co-stars, but the result was his lifelong friendship with Ford. As a side note, Stagecoach was one of Orson Welles' favorite movies, and he mentioned multiple times that he watched the movie religiously in preparation to make Citizen Kane. Number 2, Rio Bravo.
Look out!
After 1956's The Searchers, Wayne took a leave from the Western genre for a while. This venture proved unsuccessful, as the movies he made between 56 and 58 weren't some of his finest work. That's where 1959's Rio Bravo comes in. The perfect return to form for John Wayne, Rio Bravo was the culmination of the American Western. The story of a small-town sheriff that enlists the help of some citizens to keep a local outlaw in jail, Rio Bravo was a massive success among critics and Wayne fans alike.
All right, Buster, what do you do?
Rio Bravo used some clever techniques to make the characters look more imposing. For instance, the town's buildings are built at 7/8 scale, making the gunmen look much taller and larger than life than they were. This served as the inspiration for the filming style that Italians adopted and turned into the spaghetti western genre over the following decade.
Go ahead, but throw it harder this time.
There you go again. You never can satisfy you. Throw it.
Our number 1 pick is The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
I said you, Valance. You pick it up.
3 against 1, Donovan.
Touted as the epic movie that finally reunited James Stewart and John Wayne, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is, without a doubt, the quintessential Western film. Stewart plays Senator Rance Stoddard, while Wayne co-stars as Tom Donovan. Tom and Rance form an alliance to fight against the outlaw Liberty Valance, who's played by none other than Lee Marvin. Unusually for the time, this movie was shot entirely in black and white. Some critics thought the film was destined for irrelevancy, with some calling it John Ford's worst work. Those critics were proven wrong very soon after the movie's release, however, as it ended up being a gargantuan success at the box office.
That's right. But votes won't stand up against gun.
The movie also marked a monumental moment for John Wayne's career. This is the first film where he could be heard calling someone a pilgrim, which would become one of his trademarks for the remainder of his career.
Don't fret about that, Pilgrim.
The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance forms part of the United States National Film Registry in the Library of Congress for its cultural significance. It currently sits at a score of 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb.com.
I hate tricks, Pilgrim. But that's what you're up against with Valance.
Do you agree with our list? Be sure to comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be the first to receive new videos from Stream TV.